without further ado, I want you to give a warm welcome to the first artist tonight. And it's a queen. She's a queen, and she hails from Kingston, Jamaica. A roots musician, singer, and poet. And her name is JAH9. So people, welcome on stage, JAH9. JAH9.
Unfair, but the ones left is great. But the scrap says generations have grown in the same situation. Tribal warfare, chattel slavery, and no taxes. The people never have enough, and children are born fatherless, and families have no one to rely on. So from blood, sweat, and tears, the solution appears. The pride is defended by a lion. Will you be the one? Oh, for the mountains and valleys are the city streets, will you be the one? Oh, to keep moving forward and never retreat. This is JAH9. We are here at the Indig02 Club at the O2 Arena during the Olympics. I just performed as part of the Jamaica 50th celebration with the Lloyd Parks Band. I opened the show. Some other great performers, roots musicians, poets, elders in the business. I feel very blessed to be performing amongst this particular selection. The Abyssinians, Benjamin Zephaniah, Lloyd Parks, Buta Maruka, and you know, it's an honor and a privilege to be here and to be selected from among all of the people who could have been here. You know, as a roots musician, as a young person, as a young woman, as a Rastafari, we give thanks. My style is jazz and dub, so it's jazz vocals infused with heavy drum and bass roots sounds, and it feels new to a lot of people, but it's really an old sound. The vocal style is old, from influences like Billie Holiday and Dinah Washington and Sarah Vaughan, and even the gospel musicians of old like your Shirley Caesar and CeCe Winans and all of these women who just sang from, you know, their soul, along with the dub musicians, the roots musicians, because dub is really post-production and is really taking the roots music and opening it out and separating the instruments and letting everything just, you know, infect you one instrument at a time. And it leaves a lot of open space for you to put the poetry on. And my music is very heavily lyrical, and that's because of my poetry background. So naturally, you know, dub was a perfect space to drop that music into. Right now, in Jamaica, you have dancehall as the dominant popular culture, especially among the young people. And it's not so much because they don't like or are not interested in roots music or live music, but they're not fed that kind of music. And so they really don't know about the rich cultural heritage that they have in, you know, roots and Rastafari music. And so there is now a resurgence of live musicians coming out of the Edna Manley College and just coming out of you know, young people like myself who love reggae music and who were fortunate enough to get that music and to listen to it and to listen to the Mad Professor and the King Tubbies and the original Coxsone Studio One type sounds and all of that original sound, and all of this now just has kind of come back to the forefront and is inspiring a new generation. So it sounds new, but again, this is really the roots, the old sound that is really, you know, coming back to life at a time when our people need it the most, because this is what Bob Marley talk about when he said, you know, the music is the healing, it's this music, back to the roots of it, the Nyabingi drumming, the 1-2, the heartbeat, the drum and bass. That is really the essence of reggae music that, you know, has given the world so much.
Here, because we know it's a hard time for the men sometimes, you know. So all the sisters here who know that there's a strong man in your life, whether it be your king man, your brother, your father, a man you know down the street. Now we celebrate all of the beautiful men in our lives. This one is for you, from us sisters. Take it away.
Standing out in all the clutter, I like this boy. This is what I'm saying to myself.
As a woman in this particular industry, reggae music, I come from a very rich and strong heritage of musicians, female musicians who have set an example. Ones like Sister Carol and Judy Mott and Marcia Griffiths, and to name a few. But the essence of their messages have always been, you know, strong black woman and proud of your heritage and, you know, royal, putting yourself together in a way that, you know, lets you stand out from everything else that is around. And there's a lot of pressure on women in general to look a particular way because there is this conceived competition that is going on for, you know, the scarce resources, whether it be a man or whether it be security or whatever it is. But really and truly that is an illusion, because it is the women of this earth that really shape the future. We have such an important role to play with the decisions that are made in our country, and, you know, the way that our youth grow and the things that, you know, stay and the things that become tradition over time. So even in the way that you carry yourself, you really, anybody can, you know, people are free to do whatever they want and dress the way they want, and, you know, it's not about judging anyone, you know, but it's really about just being accountable to someone other than yourself sometimes. And that's really what, like, my music, whenever I sing with my sisters in mind, I sing positive songs, and I don't endorse the music that breaks other women down. I don't endorse competition among sisters. I think there's a terrible, terrible misconception that women cannot get along. And as much as it plays out in real life sometimes, it doesn't have to be so, because if it is really love at the center of it, then we can rise above everything. And it's really communication that is the challenge. It's not really a gender issue. And if we can communicate better with our brothers, you know, as women, and with our sisters as women, then we can solve all of our problems. And we can put aside aggression and really seek peace in a real way. And I mean, these are words I say even to myself, because we all grow in this aggressive culture where, you know, in order to make an impact or to get your voice heard, you have to be the loudest voice. But really and truly, it's just love. So JAH9 now, as an individual artist, there's a lot that I'm working toward. My music is a part of my spiritual journey as well. I used to write a whole heap of things, but the music that I really decide that I will present to the world is the best of myself. And so, because it's very important to be careful, you know, when you are uttering word sound, because sometimes those words will remain with you for always. So, if you want to, you know, bring positivity into your life, you have to speak words of positivity. And so that's what I try to do with my own music. And right now, I am currently working on an album project with Rory Gilligan. That is Rory Stone Love. And most of the tracks that I am currently performing are off of that record. There are 9 tracks on the record, and the record is called New Name. It's really a compilation of drum and bass, roots music with heavy, poetic lyrics. And the messages are very simple, but you know, they kind of touch on a lot of social issues, a lot of maybe political issues as well, but kind of in a general way, not necessarily specific to Jamaica, even if my experience is specific to Jamaica. So I think everyone who understands struggle can relate to it, but it's not a pessimistic view of life. It is a positive view of life to say that, you know, with love we can overcome everything, and war is redundant, and love is really the answer. As simple as it sounds, it is really simplicity that we have to resort to.
A very serious time in Jamaica's history. We have to ask some serious questions, eh? I'm beginning to wonder about your intentions. Too many instances of deception, too many alibis and excuses, too many attempts to deny the abuses, too many reasons to complain, too many losses, too little gain.
I collaborate with a lot of the other musicians here in Jamaica, or there in Jamaica rather, and it's a movement of us, and we all are working on our individual careers, so we're not necessarily at that place where we can move as a force throughout the world, but that is the intention, to really move together to bring this message of positivity to the world. I have a project that I completed recently. I call it 9mm, and it's like a mixtape. It's available on my website for free download, and it's the first volume of a series that I want to do, where I highlight 3 books at a time, written by prolific black authors, and you know, take snippets of it and read it over dub versions of the songs that are on the record. So the idea is to, you know, we don't have a reading society. We don't really promote literacy, and it's really not cool to read. But sometimes a lot of the messages that we hear, we don't even know where they come from. And we know who Marcus Garvey is, but we have no idea what he actually said. And we hear His Imperial Majesty and everybody is shouting Jah Rastafari, and we don't know who the king really is because we don't study his words. And you know, we learn about our history, but we really don't know our history from our perspective. So you have ones like Walter Rodney, who was banned from Jamaica, and his books were not allowed to come into the country, but you do have publishers who are making this literature available, and one of those publishers I work along with in order to bring that word sound into my music and give it away for free. And the plan is to go into the inner city and into the schools and give it to the youth and allow them to see, you know, there are other perspectives that exist. Your history did not start with slavery, you know. So be proud of yourself, and that is really the message that is going to uplift all of I and I. We definitely want to give thanks and praise to the Most High for presenting ones to us who love the music and are not just in it for the hype and for the money, but really and truly want to see the most come out of Jamaican music. So the music hub, yeah, big up yourself, Shireen. You're large in the best ways possible, mama. Enough respect to Pusha Youth. Enough respect to all of the ones over here representing the best of Jamaica and bringing the best of Jamaica to the forefront. And even when it's not really the best of Jamaica, you know, we big them up same way because they give everybody the opportunity to shine. So yes, give thanks and praises.